Yo, this is Ask Jason Lee. You got questions, I got answers. Let's go. So this is a series clearly a lot of you like, and I'm so glad that I'm able to talk to you in a format where I'm not spilling all the tea. Because I swear, one of the craziest things that drives me nuts is that every time I open my mouth, people expect for a Lipton tea bag to fall out, and it gets on my nerves. And I think I've done a great job of perfecting this persona over at Hollywood Unlocked, and that guy is a nut, and that's not who I am here. So I want to create a forum again for you all to be able to ask me questions directly and for me to answer them. And I'm so excited at the end of this video, you're gonna find out about a new partner of ours, Yappa. And before I get into the questions, let me just tell you a little bit about them. Back in 2015, when I wanted to start Hollywood Unlocked, I was taking meetings with everybody all over Hollywood. People were telling me how much they believed in the idea and this was great or whatever. But Yappa, a friend of mine that owned a company, a technology at the time called Yappa, her name is Jennifer. She created this tool for people to be able to accelerate engagement with their favorite artists or celebrities, or in my case, a media personality. And so it's so crazy that back in 2015, when I created the dream and vision of Hollywood Unlocked, and they created the dream and the vision for Yappa, that although we didn't link up and figure out the business then, our paths have led us now to partner where now you can't only just text your answers or comments on the YouTube video, you get to go to the website, HollywoodUnlocked.com, find this post, and actually go and upload a video or audio response to me directly. And then I'm going to create Socialite Sound Off, where you leave a video on any of our posts, and we might just pick and highlight those moments on our Hollywood Unlocked Instagram in front of 1.8 million people. So that's our way of making sure that we close the gap between our world and yours, and that we all just become one big Hollywood Unlocked family. All right, so let's get into the first question. Nelly.Bebe, why do so many people hate on you? Hell, I don't know. When you find out, tell me. But I do think that when you have an opinion, like if I say to you, who's a better president, Barack Obama or Donald Trump? If you find two people who have opposing points, you're going to find drama, because at some point in that conversation, it's going to go bad. For me, I love controversy. I love controversy. I love conflict. I love creating conversations that force people to think critical or to laugh hysterically or to get extremely mad or to get extremely emotional. That is what I do, and it is literally a strategy to keep people talking. If you wonder why we're one of the fastest rising media companies on the internet, because we have figured out a formula that works for us and that works for you. About people hating on me, listen, it comes with the territory. Most of you that are watching this video that understand where this sweater came from, many people thought that I was sitting in my bed, with a bowl of grapes and just crying myself to sleep. I don't care about the things that you see and the conflict that you witnessed me being a part of on the internet. I literally use it as a way of continuing to put gas in my brand. When that incident happened, it was literally like putting gas in my car. Now I have merch, now I have a show, now I have interviews and so forth. So I don't care. I mean, when people are not gonna always like or hate me, it feels better when people like you. But I honestly treat it all the same. As long as people are talking, I'm fine. The next question, XO_Emerald_. Thoughts on the Megan Thee Stallion label drama with Carl Crawford? I wasn't around to know the particulars of what's happening between them. And although I've been trying to get Meg on the phone and she's been really busy, understandably so, I just want to talk in general about the practice of starting business, launching your own brand, and staying in control. I was privileged to be able to have a mentor early on who talked to me about the importance of staying in control of my brand and staying in control of my vision, so that way, whenever time I find myself doing something, it could be on my own terms. This person just impressed upon me how important it was to not allow other people's interests or money to buy into and take over the control of that vision. I think that a lot of us, when we start our businesses or we start our dreams or we start our visions, we find that it's really, really, really hard without capital. But what people don't realize is that you have mental and creative capital, but you also have emotional and endurance capital. Like, you have to not allow the people or experiences around you to deplete the passion and drive that it's going to take to succeed. For me, if we would have taken on millions and millions of dollars early on to be able to launch Hollywood Unlocked, I would not own enough shares to stay in control of the company. Right now, I own about 95% of Hollywood Unlocked. And if you have more than 51%, you stay in control of your business. Every deal that I have right now, outside of Hollywood Unlocked with our partners or any other brand extension of Hollywood Unlocked, I own at least 50% of the partnership. So that way I stay in control. And it's not a control or ego thing. It's an avoid the Meg Thee Stallion drama thing. And that's sort of the same thing we see going on with Cardi B. It's the same thing that we see going on with Kamaya and YG. And you'll hear about that on our show when that comes out. But so many people are so quick to want to get to the bag or get to their dream that they're not willing to put in more hard work that it takes to just get over that hump to get there. Or the people that are empowered to give it to them says, hey, if you just sign away your life, I'm going to give it to you. And then you have to make the decision of whether or not it's worth it. For me, it hasn't been. And I can tell you every single day, it drives me crazy that achieving my dreams takes so much more longer than it would had I just taken or sacrificed, for the bag. But I'm not willing to do that, and I'm willing to keep fighting. And I hope that whatever goes on with Meg, Cardi, and the other girls who are fighting for their dreams and fighting for their rights and ownership, that they prevail, because at the end of the day, I think any type of creative partnership should be balanced, and they deserve whatever they fought hard for. Next question comes from Bevanil. Is it hard to be famous? I don't think I'm famous. I believe I'm visibly and physically recognizable. I'm a public person. I think fame should be left with celebrities and people who want to be celebrities. I want to be a public figure with influence. And fame doesn't last, right? I want to be successful. I want to be influential. I want to be the person that people go to when they want to hear the tea, but also in a real perspective on issues like Gabriel Fernandez, like the coronavirus, like what's happening at the White House. So I don't know. I don't know how it feels to be famous. I could say as being a public person, sometimes it gets annoying that people don't appreciate private time. If you're at dinner with your friends, you haven't seen your friend in a long time, and somebody pops up all of a sudden, they want a picture, they want to talk to you, they want to talk to you about a scene that happened 4 years ago. You're like, girl, come on now. I'm a human being. So I have just found that as being somebody who people recognize, it does get difficult at times. But if it does come with a big bag and it helps me to move my agenda, I'll take it. The next question comes from Avi_Naya. Are you returning to Love and Hip Hop? I get criticized a lot for my return to Love and Hip Hop season 7. I left in season 3. And I keep trying to tell people that it's easy to vilify Love and Hip Hop, but it is one of the biggest shows, if not the biggest reality show on television. Is it my goal to be a reality TV star? Hell nah. Could I be a reality TV star if I wanted to be? Yeah, but then it'd be distracted away from my company, Hollywood Unlocked. Most folks that have been following me from the beginning know that I used Love and Hip Hop to launch Hollywood Unlocked. I left it when I felt like I didn't have any more purpose. Now since I've been back, being able to tell my brother's story, I've said to them, like, hey, I'll come back to the show as long as my brand is continuing to drive whatever's happening, because that's just what I do, right? Hollywood Unlocked, their business is my business, and y'all know I do the Lord's work. So it would make sense that I would go back, but I'm trying to do a lot more above and beyond the Love and Hip Hop brand. But yeah, why not go back? As long as the money's right and the tea is hot, Jason Lee will be there. The next question comes from Carlita_cosmetics_. Have you ever thought about your own talk show? A lot of you have been around from the beginning know that you repeatedly have told me that I should have my own show. I have said I want my own show. And I do believe that the stars are aligning to get my own show. But I'm going to tell you guys some tea that I've never really told anybody. So you may want to come close and tell a friend to listen to me. So a couple times I've done some deals with people. Those of you that remember when I first talked about the deal we did with Queen Latifah, we had done a deal with a Flavor Unit years ago when I wasn't even ready. And I feel like at the time we weren't able to get that deal done because I just don't think we were all in the right place. I don't even think I was prepared to do a talk show at the time. This was way before I even had the podcast. So this is how long ago it was, like 4 years ago. Then once we got the podcast, we did another deal because we wanted to try it again. But the market wasn't right. And there were so many shows on TV. And if you think about it right now with the Tamron Hall show, the Wendy Williams show, the Ellen DeGeneres show, Nick Cannon show coming, there's so many shows. I feel like the talk show space is really oversaturated. We were trying to figure out when we could land. And so in doing that and wanting to go out and sell a show, there's a lot behind whether or not a show is good that matters. What are the buyers buying at the time? What do the markets have open? Are there slots? Are brands looking for partnerships? There's a lot of business stuff that goes into whether or not you can have a show. Then I was called into an office by somebody who I'm not going to share, and I pitched them my whole brand, and then they went off and sold a show similar to the idea that I came up with. And although that show is going to fail and not doing well now, I'm not going to say who that show is, left a bad taste in my mouth. And so I kind of fell back and just focused on the art, just focused on the work. And that's when we went national. Now that we've gone national and the show is doing very well, we're having conversations that I can't share now, but soon you will have the answer to this question. I have a lot of stories to tell about how we should have been there a long time ago, how we almost gave up, how we got screwed over, and how we prevailed. So keep your fingers crossed. The next question is from Princess DZYR. What accomplishment are you most proud of and why? Well, I'll say that right now, and I've said this on my tour, my most proudest accomplishment is my new book, God Must Have Forgotten About Me. And the reason why is because after I got out of foster care and went back to live with my mom, and then eventually went back to my community and then got into high school, you know, you read in the book where I had a lot of challenges, bullied, attacked, different things. And I left high school early. I left high school on a GED. I left at 16 and a half or 16 and a half, 17. Got a GED at the adult school, left. Waited until I was 18. Went to college for about a year and a half, left. Never finished college, never got a diploma, got a GED, never went to a prom, never experienced high school reunions, none of that, because I was ready to get to work. So when I left, I always left with this belief that I wasn't able to accomplish something as significant as getting my high school diploma, you know, and that really bothered me. So to be able to not get a high school diploma and not get a college degree, but then become a published author with a damn good book that everybody is raving about and that I see is impacting people, I think is something that I'm proud of, because I do feel like in today's society, a lot of people tell kids, like, you got to go to school, you got to become a doctor, you got to go to college, you got to get a master's degree. And I don't think you have to. I think we work in a day of modern technology where we have, you know, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, we have social media, we have ways of reaching people and creating things and getting it out to consumers directly that I just think the traditional methods of how to become successful don't necessarily exist. And so I feel really good about the book. I feel good about being able to execute the book as much as I feel good about the quality of the content in the book. And if you haven't gotten the book, guess what? Here's the link. Okay, so those are all the questions I have for this episode, but don't click out just yet. Remember I told you about our friends at Yapple? Well, now guess what? You can leave your comments here on YouTube, but make sure you go to our website, HollywoodUnlocked.com. You can go to the story post, scroll down to where it says enter your Yap, click it, record a video, because now instead of getting your stuff off of Instagram Live, I'm going to be getting them directly from our website. And guess what? I might just choose you for Socialite Sound Off. Peace.